Hello, hello, hello. This is the Vanilla JS podcast. I'm Chris Ferdinandi. Thanks for joining me. So, I grew up watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and one of my favorite quotes from him talks about the importance of finding helpers in times of crisis. Mr. Rogers wrote, "My mother would say to me, look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping." And to this day, especially in times of disaster, I remember my mother's words. And I'm always comforted by realizing that there are so many helpers, so many caring people in this world. If you haven't figured this out yet, today's podcast is not about JavaScript. Today, I want to talk about the coronavirus and the helpers, specifically how you can help and how I want to help you. This is important, but if you're not interested in this, feel free to tune out. I won't judge you for it, but I really hope you'll stick around because I think this is a really important topic. So the coronavirus is causing two interrelated disasters at the same time. First, it's killing people. The fatality rate is around 2%, which makes it 20 times more deadly than the flu. But in countries that are ill-prepared, that rate can be even higher as hospitals become overrun beyond their capacity to care for people. Because of this, many parts of the world are taking extreme but important measures, closing schools and businesses, prohibiting gatherings of people, and requiring people to stay home. This creates a second disaster, the economy. Bars and restaurants, movie theaters, and many other businesses are losing tremendous amounts of money as people stop going out. They're cutting shifts or firing staff altogether, and many of them may go under completely. The United States is just starting to implement shutdowns in a few states, and I've already started seeing a flurry of "I got laid off today" tweets. This is going to get worse, and here's where you can come in. There are some specific things that you can do. First, stay home. This is probably the single most important thing you can do. Don't go to the office, don't go to the gym, don't go to restaurants or the movies. Just stay home. You can literally save thousands of lives by doing this. And in the show notes, I'm going to link to a couple of articles. One of them, Stay the Fuck Home, talks about what you should be doing just from kind of a practical perspective and also why it's important. The other one is it's a simulator, the social distancing game, where you can change some criteria. What happens if you don't reduce your contact? What happens if you do by a certain percentage and how long you wait before doing that and the impact that has on the number of lives you can potentially save. So that's kind of an interesting way to visualize the impact of staying home. Second, if you're lucky enough to be able to work and you're financially secure, I really recommend that you donate to your local food banks. A lot of people are going to struggle to eat. A lot of kids get their only hot meal of the day at school. And with schools closed, that safety net is gone. Also, similarly, if you're able to work from home and you're being paid to do so, pay people who work in your home to not come to work. If you have house cleaners or in-home childcare and you're working from home and you're still getting paid, pay those people to stay home too. It will keep them safer. It will keep you safer. And it ensures that they have financial stability in this really difficult time. Something to keep in mind, like house cleaners are probably having their appointments canceled on them left and right. And for a lot of them, they're small, self-owned businesses. They maybe either don't have health insurance or they pay for their own. This is going to hit them hard. So if you're being paid to stay home from work and you're financially able to swing it, pay them to stay home and not work too. You may not be able to do everything on that list, and that is okay. I don't want anybody to feel bad because they can't do more. Do your best. We're all in this together. A lot of people are going to be in various different positions, financially, emotionally, mentally. So do what you can, and don't beat yourself up if you can't do more. Mental health is really important through all this too. So with that in mind, here are some ways that I want to help you. If you're struggling or you know someone who is, I really want to help. I am lucky that I get to, stay in my home and continue to work. And so, if other people are maybe in kind of a rougher spot, I want to be able to help them. So if you find yourself unexpectedly in need of work, I wrote a career guide for web developers based on my time spent as an HR guy earlier in my career. That's actually what I used to do, was I would teach engineers and software developers how to find new jobs, how to grow their career. It was kind of my bread and butter. And I used those techniques to switch careers and become a web developer. So I put together a career guide. It's oriented towards web developers, but a lot of information in there is applicable to anyone in a wide variety of fields. And you can snag a free copy of it. I'm going to drop a link down in the show notes. I had been using a discount code for this, but it is just completely, I had some people who forgot to put it in. I don't want anybody to pay for this. It is 100% free. I'll put a link in the show notes. Make sure you go pick up a copy of that. But because I used to work in HR, I have kind of this inside knowledge into how a lot of stuff works. And so I can teach you things like, how to get past computerized screening systems so you actually get seen by a real person, how to write a resume that stands out, how to find jobs in the first place. So this will be a really useful thing for you or someone you know if you or they are looking for work. If you need to improve your skills to find a new job, or if your training and development events were canceled because of the coronavirus, I've put together a new vanilla JavaScript Pocket Guides bundle that includes 3 guides with all of the source code and access to my Slack channel for free. The starter bundle, I'm going to drop a link to that in the show notes as well. This includes both the ebook and video versions, so depending on what way you learn best, you can pick that up. And this includes a couple of guides from what is the beginner bundle, another guide from the advanced bundle. So you're going to get a mix of different topics, and I think it'll be really helpful for you. So I hope you enjoy that. And finally, if you're struggling from isolation, from practicing social distancing, I know a lot of folks, I've been working from home for 8 years, but I know a lot of folks are either new to this or maybe they worked from home, but now that you can't go out at all, even to social stuff, nights or on the weekends, it can be really tough. So I've been trying to do some live coding and just general hanging out, co-working from Zoom when I can. So I'll drop a link to this down in the footer as well, or in the show notes as well. But I started this new project, Vanilla.js Prep School. It's 100% free. I jump on Zoom and I run a live coding session with a Q&A at the end. So you can watch me code, you can ask questions. If you have other stuff you want to talk about, we can just kind of shoot the shit for a little while. Totally cool. So if you jump over to vanillajsprepschool.com, you can pop in your email and you'll get a notification whenever I'm going to jump on video and do one of these sessions. But the important thing to remember here is that we are all the helpers now. Mr. Rogers talked about the importance of looking for the helpers, and that's really comforting when you're a child, and it can even be comforting when you're an adult. But now that we're adults, we are also the helpers. We are the ones who can bring comfort to others, whether those are little humans in your life or other adults who are struggling more than you are, or just looking for a sense of security and a rock to anchor into in these really uneasy times. This will not be easy, but I am confident that we've got this. So that's it for today. If I can help you in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find all of my contact information over at gomakethings.com. No upsells today. This is all about just spreading goodness and making people feel better. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here for you, and I will see you next time. Cheers.